Damn, what is YouTube? Check it out, YouTube. I'm looking for my mouse, y'all. I'm looking for my mouse. I can't chew bubblegum and think at the same time. Hey, the surprise witness. We are right back at her channel. Shout out to the surprise witness. I'm cold, y'all, because it's pouring. It is. I went upstairs to get something to eat, right? And it's pouring down around. I come back. I got a plate of food. Water just pouring down on my food. Oh man. So I guess a little bit of rainwater won't hurt you. Probably more healthier for you. Hey, Roc Nation and CEO fights shocking allegations against CEO daughter. What? Hey, I got water in my pocket, man. Uncle Mike got to drink a lot of water, man, because I got a kidney stone, man. I ain't never had no health issue. But anyway, y'all hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Apparently, there's a whole lawsuit going on with the CEO of Roc Nation, which is Jay-Z's record label. The CEO is getting sued by her daughter. Now, in and of itself, it's just very interesting to me because it has to do with the Florida shuffle. Jesus, y'all, look at this thing. It's so many of the same webbings that I just had to show it to y'all. Here's the lawsuit. I'm going to have to make a whole BJ Investigates on this. First and foremost, look at this right here, life skills. Life skills, webbing, that rings a bell. Why? Because Bam Margera was locked up in life skills, he claims, against his will. He escaped from life skills. He went to that hotel in Broward County, Florida with his mom. His mom was sitting there at the bar with him drinking. Then the cops show up, the Broward County sheriff, and the mom was drinking there with him. And it was all of a sudden, so I'm so scared. You gotta lock him up. Lima's been at the court all day trying to get him Marchman acted, Baker acted, whatever. This life skills is one of those places. Well, the Roc Nation CEO's daughter is suing life skills. For this, like, improperly imprisoning her. Y'all, the stuff she says about her mom, who's the CEO of Roc Nation, is blowing my mind. Now, does it surprise me? No. But it is a little bit shocking that it's being even said out here in public. Like, Daniel Bober, the medical director of Life Skills, she's suing. Odyssey Behavioral Health Care, which is a Tennessee corporation. Why? I don't know. She's suing the Broward County sheriff. So she says so much stuff. Look, the first thing of the lawsuit, it says, of the facts, right? This case gives meaning to the phrase, you wouldn't believe it till you see it. Desiree Perez, this is the lawsuit, y'all. I'm saying what the lawsuit is saying. I don't know. I wasn't there. But they're saying this, the CEO of Roc Nation, is a former drug trafficker, confidential informant. This is her daughter saying this stuff about her. And convicted felon, who is now the CEO of Roc Nation. Desiree is the daughter, and Javon Hadley is the daughter's husband, so it would be the son-in-law of Desiree. For the past 2 years, Desiree has used her money, power, and influence to tear the Hadleys apart, her daughter and her son-in-law. She created an enterprise of individuals to effectuate her plot and used unlawful means to have Javon falsely arrested on 3 different occasions, and to have Desiree falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Acts. Unfortunately, as detailed below, Desiree Perez has a history of using illegal tactics. Again, I'm reading a lawsuit. I don't know. I wasn't there. To get her way, even if it requires wearing rubber gloves and providing false information to authorities. And there is a picture of her sitting right here with the rubber gloves on. In addition to being the CEO of Roc Nation, she's part owner of the company. It was founded in 2008, the same year Britney went into a conservatorship, which I'm telling y'all is going to end up being important. Everybody gets mad when I mention it, but I'm telling you it's going to end up mattering. Roc Nation represents all these people. The NFL contracts Roc Nation to organize and select performers for the Super Bowl halftime show. Desiree, as CEO, has an army of tech staff with access to the best technology. She has a team of attorneys and private investigators. She has a past as a drug trafficker, a confidential informant, a fraudster, and a fugitive. That is what this lawsuit says. I am not saying it. I do not know. I was not there. Look, they include pieces of her alleged criminal past She became a confidential informant and provided information to federal law enforcement in the 90s. This caused the government to file a motion eliminating her 30-month prison sentence. After DeMarie was born, Desiree continued to be a criminal. This is according to this filing. I do not know. I was not there. For instance, local law enforcement arrested Desiree in 1996 for a slew of fraudulent criminal activity, including organized fraud, grand theft, and several counts of uttering a forged instrument. There's all these alleged charges. Her surrender got delayed. Then she became a fugitive. She eventually pled guilty in the state of New York, but she was sentenced to a conditional discharge. And she says, DeMarie, her daughter, says, I think that she avoided that prison sentence because she was cooperating with law enforcement. Choosing a life of crime over motherhood, Desiree dumped her infant daughter, DeMarie, on DeMarie's maternal grandfather, Julio, and his long-term partner, Olga. Growing up, DeMarie referred to Julio as abuelo, which is like grandpa, and Olga, grandpa's life partner or whatever, like her step-grandma, she called her mommy, which Desiree, the CEO of Roc Nation, still to this day despises. Look at this. In 2002, almost fresh out of prison, Desiree somehow became the owner.
Do you own your own home in Maryland and are still paying for electricity? You could be missing out on free government assistance to go solar. Most people don't know this, but in 2005...
God dang it. My bad, y'all. That's my bad.
Of the 4040 nightclub in New York. To the outside world, it appears that the CEO of Roc Nation turned her life around and became a successful CEO. But secretly, she continued to engage in acts, exposing her.
God dog it. My bad. That's my bad, y'all.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Apparently,
I'm on the wrong channel, man. I've been doing different things, and I was on the channel where our main channel don't have any, what you call it? Commercials. So here we go. 5 minutes. Something right there.
Nation turned her life around and became a successful CEO. But secretly, she continued to engage in acts, exposing herself and others to both civil and criminal liability, which a state prosecutor has even noted in a closeout memorandum related to the fraudulent arrest of Javon. Now look at this stuff. This starts looking like what Britney Spears accused TriStar Sports and Entertainment of. As related to this lawsuit, Desiree conspired with others to illegally record the Hadleys in their bedroom. She conspired with others to put a camera in her own daughter's bedroom, and it was in there for years, allegedly, according to this lawsuit. I do not know. I was not there. She also allegedly hacked her daughter's iPhone, cloned the iCloud account, which is exactly the same thing that Britney and her lawyer accused her alleged abusers of doing, unlawfully detained the Hadleys on several occasions, concocted false evidence against them, unlawfully wiretapped their bedroom. She conspired allegedly with others to surreptitiously plant a camera in her daughter and her son-in-law's bedroom without their knowledge, and the camera was in there since at least July 2022. Desiree literally admitted to this in a frivolous lawsuit she filed. This is all, again, I'm reading from the lawsuit. I do not know. I was not there. In her complaint, Desiree, the mom, even included a snapshot from the illegal, this is gall. She put a snapshot of the illegal recording device, captured footage from inside. Imagine you're reading a lawsuit, you're getting sued by your own mom, and she got a picture in there of your bedroom with your husband in there with you. In addition to the, quote, illegal camera, Desiree also planted a listening device. This right here.
That's crazy.
Their bedroom.
That is crazy.
Unbeknownst to the Hadleys, Desiree kept both recording devices in their bedrooms for years, which is, quote, clearly illegal. Again, I'm not making these allegations. I am reading from a federal complaint. I do not know if it is true, but it looks like she has some receipts. Desiree illegally hacked DeMarie's iCloud account, another thing Britney accused her team of doing, but also Cassie accused Diddy of doing, somehow finding out all of her stuff she was doing on her phone. Remember in her lawsuit? It gave Desiree unfettered access to DeMarie's digital data, including text messages, photographs, and videos. DeMarie has witnessed her mother. This is the crazy part. I was like, I have to tell y'all about this morning. DeMarie has witnessed her mother. She's seen it. She said, I witnessed it my freaking self. My mom direct the tech team at Roc Nation to infiltrate other people's digital data, including an instance where Desiree wanted to determine how a chart-topping artist's upcoming movie got leaked. DeMarie first realized her mother had hacked her iPhone last year in March 1st, 2024. On that day, her iPhone was pinging in New York. And she was sitting there in Miami. She's like, how is my Apple Watch and my iPhone pinging to the location of Roc Nation headquarters? Well, come to find out, she believes her mother had used her, look, Desiree believes, paragraph 77, the iPhone device in her iCloud account, which placed her location at Roc Nation in New York, was a device cloned by her mother's team at Roc Nation. Again, Desiree has personally witnessed her mother order her team to clone a person's iPhone for her access. Desiree, the mom's frivolous lawsuit recently filed against Javon, she kind of admitted to hacking Demaree's phone because she filed screenshots of all kinds of text messages between Desiree and Javon, but she didn't explain to the court how she got these private text messages. As explained below, the mom used illegal bedroom recordings, stolen iCloud data, and other means during her conspiracy, this is a quote, I'm not making this allegation, to fraudulently convince people that Desiree needed to be unlawfully committed to a mental health institution and a drug rehab facility under Florida's Baker and Marchman Act statutes. She used the same information that she illegally obtained, according to them, in order to get the son-in-law fraudulently arrested. She threatened to Baker Act Desiree all the way back in September 2023, 2 years ago. That day, Desiree lured her daughter to her home in Pinecrest, Florida, under the false pretenses that Demaree's uncle needed to be taken to the hospital, but this was false. She rushed to her mother's home and was confronted by an interventionist. Does this not sound like Bam Margera? The interventionalist, Stephen B. Timmer, he's one of the two people, including the guardian, Lima Takali Mora Yevremovich, who goes by several aliases, who tried to intervene on Bam. They had all this paperwork and everything set up, ready to go, and they will put your ass in a van. And if you don't go, they will call the cops and they will lie. They will say you have schizophrenia. They will say they're scared for your life. They definitely have to get the moms and the dads involved all the time. This is crazy. As seen below in the snippet from the police report, Desiree the mom did admit to having an intervention for Desiree and that she hired a counselor named Victoria Hunter. Although Desiree told officers that Victoria Hunter is a therapist, Hunter has never been a licensed therapist in Florida. She convinced Miss Hunter to lie to the police and falsely claim she was a therapist. She's not a therapist. They're just lying to the police. I'm going to Baker Act you. And if you stay with that N word, I'm going to have you committed. Oh my God, I didn't even read this part yet. Quote, Desiree pulled Desiree back and stated, although Desiree's, okay, so this woman's not even a therapist. Desiree was not interested in her mother's intervention. And they keep putting intervention in quotes. She demanded to leave, which she should be allowed to do in a free country unless she's a slave. I mean, in a free country, we're not supposed to have them. But look what happened. This sounds like Kurt Cobain. This sounds like Kanye West. This sounds like Britney Spears. This sounds like Bam Margera. Desiree prevented Desiree from leaving her home by confiscating her dog. She kidnapped the dog, allegedly. Desperate to leave, Desiree then attempted to climb over her mother's security fence. And this is how Bam escaped from life skills, is he hopped the fence and ran away, he said. Desiree, the mom, pulls Desiree back and says, I am going to Baker Act you. If you stay with that N-word, I will have you committed. When the police authored the incident report, the Hadleys were dating, had not yet been married. Desiree's statement was not some veiled threat. It later actually came to fruition. Desiree, the daughter, called 911 and requested that the police help her leave. Desiree flaunted her power as the CEO of Roc Nation and claimed she had the Pinecrest Police Department in her pocket. The police officers arrived on the scene and eventually did force Desiree to allow the daughter to leave. But due to her influence, the officers refused to press charges against Desiree for false imprisonment. The same day, Desiree showed up to Demaree's grandfather's home, the one who had raised her, Abuelo, where the Hadleys were living. She confronted the son-in-law. They weren't married yet. I know everything that happens with you and Desiree. Why? Because she had a camera in there. If you stay with her, you're going to get yourself unalived. Based on these threats, the Hadleys moved out of the grandfather's home in October and into a home located in Homestead, Florida. In response, Desiree then rented the house directly across the street from them, pointed a camera toward their home, and ordered private investigators, many of whom were unlicensed, to stalk and harass the Hadleys. This has happened to me. The investigators who stayed across from the Hadleys worked for CTS Research in New York City. CTS investigators followed the Hadleys 24 hours a day. I've been followed in the store. I mean, I know y'all saw me put the video of that man up. Many times, CTS investigators followed the Hadleys at unsafe distances in their cars, causing the Hadleys to fear for their safety while driving. On one occasion, these investigators, or one of them who was unlicensed, had a pew-pew laying on the front seat while following Javon. Below is a camera installed by the investigators. So they're moving people into the neighborhood, allegedly. She conspired with Demarie's employer. So Demarie had a job, Iconic Creative. After the first plot failed, Desiree upped the stakes to have Demarie committed. Since January 2021, Demarie worked for a creative agency in Miami called Iconic Creative. Of course, Iconic also often worked events for Roc Nation and its artists. Because, one of the owners of Roc Nation is also Live Nation. For 2.5 years, Demarie's salary at Iconic was $65,000, and the company was in financial distress, a fact that the owners shared with Demarie. Yesterday, the photographer from Zion in New Orleans was not paid either. AJ had not been paid in months. October 2023, right after Desiree, the mom, threatened to Baker Act the daughter if she didn't leave the son-in-law. I guess he's black. I guess this woman's a racist, and she said you have to leave the N-word. I mean, that's so messed up. That's what it says in the lawsuit. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. But Demarie actually got a salary increase in October to $125,000 a year. But Desiree stepped in and helped resolve the financial problems with strings attached, i.e. controlling Demarie. Demarie found it odd because she knew about the company's financial situation, but she was also happy to have a pay increase. Little did she know what was to come. Iconic, her employer, began asking her to stay late, work longer hours, and to travel frequently. While some of the demands made sense at the time because of the pay increase, she didn't realize that there was a nefarious plot on the way to split her and her husband up. All of this is happening because she's with her husband, I guess. On December 12, 2023, she was required to attend this Nike meeting the next day. She found it odd when she signed on to Zoom. Rachel Thomas was at the training. Demarie found this to be odd because every other training consisted of at least 20 people, but Rachel Thomas signed on to Zoom and identified herself as a representative from Nike Academy. Rachel then began asking Demarie questions that were unrelated to work. So some type of interrogation, type of intel gathering. And I always tell y'all, you have to be on guard for this type of stuff. Documentary companies, podcasts, people will lie to you. They will tell you that they are contacting you for a certain reason, but it is to gather intelligence.
Right.
I don't know if that's what's going on here. I'm just reading a lawsuit. I wasn't there. Demarie was suspicious of Rachel's intent and asked if she could record the conversation, which she did do. She took a screenshot of Rachel. There she is right there. She proceeded to give Demarie a quasi-psychological evaluation. A quasi-psychological evaluation. Upon information and belief, the mom conspired with Liz and Benny, the owners of Iconic, to have Demarie undergo a mental health evaluation with Rachel. After this training, aka disguised mental health evaluation, asked for the Nike Academy profile, and Rachel never did provide it because it never really had been created. A few days later, Demarie received a fake link showing Rachel's false affiliation with Nike. Because this is fake, she's saying. Wow. The website was later deleted. Wow. She was required to attend other, quote, training sessions, at least one right before Christmas. She didn't know Rachel's true identity, but in reality, Rachel, quote, Thomas was really a woman named Rachel Bernstein. Bernstein is a licensed marriage and family therapist from California who specializes in sex cults and has a podcast on SU cult recovery. So this is Bernstein. This was all just a ploy by Desiree to have Demarie improperly evaluated. Suffice it to say, Rachel Bernstein was never associated with Nike Academy, and this was all a lie, according to this lawsuit. Oh my God, y'all. Okay. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm going to have to do a whole video on this. Make sure that you
that's crazy.
Are subscribed to my other channel, BJ Investigates, because on that channel, I'm going to be doing a whole video on this.
Wow. That's crazy, man. You mean to tell me you got stuff in the room tracking people and trying to, oh my God, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I don't know, man. I ain't know so many people doing crazy stuff like this. Oh man, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.